If I ever end up on death row, brioche would 100% be part of my last meal. Today I'm going to show you how to make a regional variation from Normandy, Brioche La Fallue. I'm testing a recipe from a book created by an organization that probably cares about bread more than anyone else in the world, Les Ambassadeurs du Pain, or the Ambassadors of Bread. Another time, we'll talk about their special bread making processes, but today we're sticking to one of their brioche recipes. So what is Brioche La Fallue? It is an old-fashioned brioche that has a distinctive shape with some spikes on top. And it is enriched with sour cream or creme fraiche or just normal heavy or whipping cream. To make this brioche, we'll need 100 grams of bread flour, 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 45 and 20 grams of milk, and I will explain this later, 100 grams or roughly 2 eggs, 65 grams of sugar, 100 grams of heavy cream, 5 grams of instant yeast, 8 grams of salt, and 100 grams of unsalted butter. We'll use a stand mixer because, let's be honest, that's the easiest way to make brioche dough. Add all the ingredients except the butter to the mixer bowl and mix on low speed. Once everything is incorporated, you can increase the speed slightly, but don't go over medium. Too much friction will heat the dough too quickly, and we don't want that. The reason you want to keep the dough temperature below 24°C or 75°F while kneading is because higher temperatures can weaken or even break down the gluten you've worked so hard to develop. At this point, I realized my dough was a bit stiff, so I added those extra 20 grams of milk in the ingredients. Your dough shouldn't look dry, it should be soft and supple. But keep in mind that we still have butter to add, which will make it even softer, so use your best judgment here. As I always say, all ingredients are different. After about 15 minutes of kneading, my dough looked smooth and elastic, and it was perfect for adding butter. The butter should be chilled. Take it out of the fridge at the start of kneading so it softens just slightly, but still cool enough to help keep the dough temperature down. Add it piece by piece and don't rush. The more butter you add at the time, the longer it takes to incorporate, and you don't want it to start melting from friction. At first, it might look like you've ruined your dough, but trust me, keep going and it will come together eventually. Once the dough is climbing the hook and the bowl sides are clean, give it a few kneads on the counter and then place it in a bowl to proof. In my kitchen, it took about 2 hours, but that really depends on your room temperature. You'll know it's ready when it's smooth, stretchy, and soft and roughly double the size. Now it's time for shaping. Divide the dough into 3 equal pieces and pre-shape them into rectangles. Let them rest for 15 minutes and then shape them into small batards. I'm still learning proper shaping technique myself, but the goal is to create surface tension for a good oven spring. Here's the process. Flatten the dough, fold the top third down to cover the middle third, then fold again over the bottom third and seal the seam tightly with the side of your palm. Hopefully that explanation made sense. Let them rise under plastic wrap or in a turned-off oven with a pan of water and light on until they're puffy and at least doubled in size. This will take about 2 to 3 hours depending on your conditions. Once they're proofed, preheat the oven to 375°F or 190°C. For the egg wash, beat 1 extra egg and brush it on top. Then, using scissors, cut a pattern on the top. You can follow the example from the book here. Don't be afraid to cut a bit deeper for a more pronounced design. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes, but do not overbake because they will dry out. And here they are, golden brown with cute little spikes on top. Let's cut one open. The inside is soft, creamy from all the butter and cream, and it pulls apart in fine, delicate threads like a good brioche should. It would be perfect with some jam or butter alongside with your afternoon tea. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.